So, I am going to assume that you did not click in here just by accident and that you are either a doctor, a nurse, or an odontologist, and you are willing to work in Germany as a healthcare professional, and that you graduated in a country that is not Germany, and that you are not German. You need your diploma to get approved by Germany, by the local district government. This process is called an Approbation, and in order to do the Approbation you need to do an exam called the FSP or Fachspracheprüfung. Now, in this video I am just going to explain you what is it needed to work in Germany as a foreigner who just graduated from university and wants to work here in Germany. But before we start, you should know that I am a medical doctor. I graduated approximately 2 years ago, and for 2 years I've been learning German. I did the FSP exam a couple of months ago and I passed. And right now I'm working in Germany and finally living the dream. So let's get to the first part of the video. Number one, what is the FSP? What is the Approbation? What is the Beglaubigung? So you get to Germany and you just want to do your papers and you want to get approved in Germany. Well, you bring first of all your diploma and you need to bring all of the other documents, and these need to be accepted by the local government, and this is a process called Beglaubigung. Once your Beglaubigung is done, then you are allowed to do the FSP, the Fachspracheprüfung. Second important thing to know is whether you need to do this or you don't. Who needs to do this and based on which reasons. So first of all, anyone who is not German and studied in a not German university has to do this, has to go through this process. You need your papers to be accepted in Germany, and then you need to do this exam to prove that you can speak German theoretically as good as a German person. And there is no real way to get around it. Now, there are other academies that also make these kind of exams, these C1 kind of exams, but they are not approved in Germany. I mean, if you are an engineer, for example, and you need to get a C1 level before you start working, you can go to these academies such as Goethe or Telk and get a C1 level. But if you want to work as a doctor, for example, you actually need to do this in the very specific way that I'm going to tell you, which is going through the local government and get this exam done by these local government employees. And this local district government through which you do the exam is called the Bezirksregierung. Bezirksregierung stands for local government, and this is the people you need to give your diploma, you need to give your papers, you need to do the translation of your diploma and other things, and only when everything is correct they send you to the Ärztekammer or the College of Doctors, and those are actually the people who will do the exam for you. So it's a bummer, you cannot do it through a private company, you cannot work your way around it. You actually need to go to the local district government and do all of the papers and pay and then do this exam. You cannot do the Goethe in your country and then come with all of the papers done. It's just not possible. Third, how do you actually do the papers? So to do the papers, it's a very complex process and it's quite annoying, and at some points you just want to go back and not do it because it's so annoying. It's not that difficult, it's just annoying, and that's why I think it was a good idea to make this video, because I can just tell you how it was by me, how did I do it, and mostly the mistakes I made, which I regret now, but it's maybe you don't need to make the same mistakes. So if you're already living in Germany, just go to the big city, closest big city around you, or if you're living in a big city, just look, try to find the Bezirksregierung, it's called the local district government, and you need to contact to a person. This person is like a secretary and is the official person who is supposed to do these papers. If you are not living in Germany, what I recommend you to do is just Google Bezirksregierung medizinische Approbation and the name of the city where you want to do it.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
You can do it, for example, in Berlin, in Munich. I personally did it in Münster. And you just Google it and you find the webpage of the local district government. You get in and you try to find the one person who does the Approbation. And once you find this person, you just send an email, say who you are, say that you graduated, for example, in Poland, that you are a doctor and that you want to do the Approbation. and they will answer you with all of the information that you need, all of the papers you need to send, how you need to send them, etc. Now, when it comes to the documents you need to present, it's very specific. It's approximately 10 documents, including your passport, your diploma, the proof of German knowledge, and etc. There's a lot of documents, and all of them need to be sent in an official way. You cannot just make a copy with your phone. No, you have to go through the local notary that lives around you, and you need to make a notarized copy. And if your document is not written in English or in German, then you need to go to an official translator, and they will ask you for 30 euros every copy you make. It's annoying. And it's very specific. That's why I have decided to make a special video only about the documents. I will leave a link in the description below, and I will write the documents I had to send. I will say how I sent them. I will tell you the little tricks I used, because I did find out that there are some ways around it, but it's too specific to write in this video right now, and so we will make a different video for that. Number 4, how is the exam? Okay, so you made it all the way till here. Let's assume that you did all of the papers, everything went perfect, you paid what you had to pay, and eventually, finally, congratulations, the most difficult part is gone. Now you have to prepare for the FSP. Quick recommendation: don't study for less than 6 months for this exam, or you will not pass it. It doesn't matter how good you speak German. It's not about speaking German, actually. It's a bit more complicated than that. The exam has 3 parts, and they are specific, and they need to be done in a very specific way, and you really need to prepare for it. Also, it's not like you need to pass a 50% to pass the exam, or like you need to get a 60% to pass the exam. It's a bit more complicated. You actually need to pass all 3 parts of the exam. There is no way around it. It's not a point system. It's a general agreement between the people who will be doing the exam with you, and they have to agree that you're ready or not. And I'm pretty sure that if you don't pass all 3, you don't pass. This exam is not a medical exam. It's a German exam, but you need to speak about medical stuff. Now, when it comes to studying, I have this question, and everyone has this question: do I need to study German? Do I need to study medicine? Do I need to study medicine in German? And there's a lot. It's medicine. There's a lot, and it's German. It's a terrible combination. Me personally, I must admit, I am not very good at speaking German, actually. I'm quite bad. I suck at German, and I am not the greatest genius in the world, and I do not know all of the medicine. And actually I failed the first time I did this exam, because I wasn't quite ready, and I learned a couple of lessons in the hard way. And I can tell you that even if you don't speak German in a C1 level, and even if you don't know all of the medicine, you can pass this exam. It's not about knowing everything, it's about knowing how to do their exam, how to answer what they want you to answer, and how to talk the way they like you to talk. So that's what I would recommend you to focus on. Now, there's 3 parts. Part number 1 is patient-doctor conversation. You are the doctor, you're talking to a patient. This is not a real patient, this is an actor who is actually also a medical doctor. And he's one of the 3 people who will be supervising you. So this person will pretend to be a patient, will give you his Beschwerden, his complaints, and you need to ask the right questions in the logical order, and you need to show empathy, and you need to document everything in a piece of paper. And you have approximately 20 minutes to do a whole anamnesis. It's not a lot. And that brings you to the part 2 of the exam, which is documentation. You take the piece of paper that you wrote, you take it with you, and you are left alone for another 20 minutes. And in those 20 minutes, you have to write a very well-structured anamnesis in German. It has to be written with a very, very clear, very polite German. Not the kind of German you are used to speak. You need to use very specific type of vocabulary and very specific type of grammar and very specific connectors, and it's rather difficult. I don't even remember anymore how to do it. But for this part you need to prepare also in a very specific way. And the part 3 is doctor-doctor conversation. You are again the doctor, this time you are a resident, and you are speaking to another doctor who is, let's say, your Oberarzt, is your superior doctor, to who you answer. And you're supposed to just present the patient that you already wrote a case about, and you need to tell what the patient had, what you decided to do, whether the patient is going to be in the station or whether the patient is going home and why. And the doctor is going to ask you questions, of course. The doctor was actually there during the first part of the exam, and he knows very well what you spoke with the patient. Therefore, he will try to test whether you understood everything that the patient said or no. And of course, the patient used difficult words just to test your vocabulary. So you need to be ready, and you need to have very good arguments to sustain what you believe you did, what you believe is correct. Now, when it comes to preparing to this exam, it's a long process. Myself, it took me approximately 8 months, maybe 7 months. 2 months for the first time I did the exam. I failed miserably, and then I had another 5 months to think about life and work a bit harder. I recommend no less than 6 months to prepare for it, and it's a very specific preparation you need to make, and there's no time for it in this video. Therefore, I decided to make another video, which I will leave in the description below, or you can check my channel, in which I will speak about every single detail of how you need to do it, what I did, and how I failed doing so. Especially, I will tell you my regrets on the way I did it, and I will also tell you what I did right, which techniques I used to study that really helped me, and what is the reason why I actually passed. Like I said, it requires a whole video just for it, so link in the description below. So you did the exam. At the very end, they tell you whether you passed or not. They give you orange paper if you didn't pass, green paper if you did pass, and you go back home. You wait a couple of weeks, you get all of the papers per post, and that's it. And you either need to retake the exam or you become a medical doctor in Germany. Alright, so that's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope that it's helping you avoid the mistakes I made.